So, book review. So, how many books you read a day? Some people suggest that you can actually read one, but I mean speed reading. So, one of the TED talk in this guy suggests you read one book a day. So, here we go again. So, have you read anything interesting? The book we talk about is how to make decision when you don't have all the facts, by Annie Duke. Do we make decisions based on all the facts? Interesting. I mean, economics is a study of how people make decisions based on rational behavior. But according to my experience and also how I interact with people, people have tastes, they have different tastes, they have different preferences. So what's the meaning of good decision? Like we all have preferences, like taste. So life is a poker, not a chess. What's that mean? Are we rational? I think rational meaning we're logical. Well, logical meaning you look at the facts, look at all the costs, and look at all the benefits, and then you decide. Interesting. Rational. What do you think? What is rational? In university, I always say that humans are logical, like in the study of finance or in the study of economics. There's such thing as efficient market hypothesis in finance based on human are rational, but human are extremely emotional. I'll give you a good example. Like you can have this company stock just suddenly just go up like this based on people expectation of people. They became emotional. They keep buying, or when the stock suddenly go down. Or you go to the mall, how many things are logical? Let's say cosmetics. Let's say name brand thing. Like, are they really better quality, or is it all marketing? Like marketing, advertising, product. They all tell you things that you must buy this. If you buy this, you look good, or you fit, or you high class, or whatever. So the book is quite interesting. So the person who wrote this book was an English major and psychology. And then he did a graduate at Penn, University of Pennsylvania, and then a doctorate in cognitive psychology. So what do you think? Do you make good decisions? Do you gather all the facts? Do you make sure everything is correct? Let's take example in medical area. Does the doctor you see makes all the facts? If everything they look at, do they have the time to look at everything? Many medicine was approved, and isn't that all the scientists have all the facts? But then disaster happened. So how do we make good decision? So what's the best decision you have made in your life? Or what's the worst decision you have made? Is it because you're fooled by some people misleading, or some people were not telling you the truth, Or how do you base the facts? Like, give me the evidence, quick or dead. That's very interesting. Rationality. What is rational? So when you buy let's say an Apple mobile phone versus an Android, so how do you make the decision? That's a good example. Like do you think higher price have higher quality? Or do you think low price and low quality? So how do you know? Well, these are basically how in psychology, if you understand psychology, there's a lot of like illusion, like which line is actually longer. Well, so are you a chess player? What do you think of chess? Chess is a very logical game, but it's very easy to learn. Well, I should say take a long learning curve, but does it help you with your training your brain and learning how to make decision? Because international chess, you have to look at everything. Like you have to look at all the strategy. So maybe useful. Uncertainty. We have lots of uncertainty. In fact, life is full of uncertainty. Let's say you take the bus, you don't know. Are you 100% sure the bus will come on time? What if there's a car accident? What if there's so many things can happen, right? So many things. There's so many factors coming up. Like 10 years ago, you think there's a COVID-19, there's a war in Ukraine. So how do you plan? Let's say you have the long-term planning for your business or your life. And it's quite interesting. Decision based on uncertainty. So what are the expected return? Let's say take a look in a legal case. In the law, I mean, law is about gathering evidence, but now with the technology, we have better evidence. We can look at the video and say, well, this had happened. But in the past, it may not have happened. So how do we believe in the facts? Do we look at the facts, or do you just let people tell me? So how many times people tell you the wrong information? How many times people you read that it's wrong? How many mistakes you have? So the stubbornness of belief. We believe. So we believe. How do we believe in something? We believe based on our life, how we look at things. Like why do someone buy a Tesla? Let's say versus there's so many electric car now. So why do certain people buy another electric car? So how do they make decision? Quite interesting. So are we biased in the reasoning? I think we are very biased. And what we try to do is try not to be biased. Yeah. How do I know this? How do we know this information? Where do this information come from? Who did I get it from? What's the source? What's the quality of the sources? How much do I trust this information? How up to date is this information? How much information do I have this is relevant to the belief? What are the things like this that I have been confident about that turn out not to be true? What are the alternatives? How do I know this person challenging my belief? What's the real, how credible my opinion is? Opinion. Let's say you go to see In my personal experience, I go to see a few bank officer and they give me all this information. And I say, well, what's your quality? What kind of education they have? And I say, well, I specialize in the field in yeah, I graduated from UBC and I also study behavioral finance. And I say everything he said is wrong. Everything the banking, the person on the other side actually tell me a lot of information, but they are wrong. Interesting, eh? Or a doctor, or a nurse, or a pharmacist. So, what is abstract belief? We hear something,